We should just be honest. Mom, you're not going to leave Natalie anything, right? My brother Eric's voice cut across the Thanksgiving table like he was discussing the weather. My mother laughed nervously. Of course not. She hasn't contributed to this family in years. My sister-in-law Amanda raised her wine glass. At least the rest of us will put it to good use. Everyone laughed, clinked glasses, toasted to my erasure. I sat there, fork frozen over my untouched plate. That's when I decided they'd all just signed their own fate. My name's Natalie. I'm 51 years old, unmarried, no kids. I work as a hospice nurse, the kind of job that wrings you dry emotionally but pays just enough to get by. I have an older brother, Eric. He's 54, a corporate lawyer, makes more in a month than I do in a year. My younger sister Vanessa is 47. She married money, lives in a house with more bathrooms than I have rooms. 15 years ago, our father died, and I became the one who took care of our mother. Not because anyone asked me to, just because it needed doing. Eric and Vanessa visited maybe twice a year, birthdays and major holidays, but they always had opinions about Mom's care, always had advice, never had time. They saw me as the unmarried one with no real life. Like caregiving was just something I did because I had nothing better going on. I gave up promotions, relationships, entire weekends, all to be there for Mom. They gave up nothing. I wasn't wealthy or important in their eyes, but I had something they never saw coming. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. I need to know someone understands this, that Thanksgiving was at Eric and Amanda's house, big suburban place, 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage. I'd worked the morning shift at hospice, then drove straight over with Mom in the passenger seat. When I walked in, everyone was already eating appetizers, drinking wine, laughing. Amanda looked me up and down. Natalie, you couldn't change? You're still in scrubs. I came straight from work, I said. I brought Mom. Eric barely glanced up from his phone. Oh, is she here? Where'd you put her? In the living room. She's in her wheelchair. Vanessa wrinkled her nose. Did she eat? I don't want her needing help during dinner. It makes everyone uncomfortable. I bit my tongue. Helped Mom get settled near the fireplace where she could at least see everyone. During dinner, the conversation turned to money. Eric's son Connor complained about his student loans. Eric waved him off. Don't worry. When Grandma passes, there'll be plenty to go around. I felt my shoulders tense. Amanda leaned forward, wine-flushed and confident. We've been talking to Mom about her will, making sure everything's clear. You've been talking to her about her will? I asked. Eric's tone turned defensive. Someone has to handle the adult conversations. Natalie. Vanessa nodded. You wouldn't understand. You've never had to manage real assets. Then Eric just said it. Casual, like it was obvious. We should just be honest. Mom, you're not going to leave Natalie anything, right? My mother looked confused, tired. What? Natalie, Eric said louder. She doesn't need it. She's used to living small. Mom's voice came out soft, pressured. Well, I suppose. Amanda laughed. That's when she said it. Of course not. She hasn't contributed to this family in years. My voice shook. I've been taking care of her every single day. Vanessa waved her hand dismissively. That's different. That's just being there. We're talking about financial contributions. Eric raised his glass. At least the rest of us will put it to good use. They all toasted. I looked at my mother. She wouldn't meet my eyes. That's when I realized. Her will had already been changed, and no one told me. Eric smirked. Don't look so surprised, Nat. You're the caretaker. We're the breadwinners. That's just how it works. I stood up, grabbed my coat, didn't say a word. just left. But in the car, hands shaking on the steering wheel, I made a decision. A week later, I got a text from Eric. It was sent to the wrong group chat, just for a second before he deleted it and resent it without me. But I saw it. Estate lawyer meeting confirmed for Thursday 2 p.m. Vanessa, bring the documents. Vanessa replied. Got them. Did you tell Natalie? Eric's response. Why would I? She'd just get emotional and make it harder. I took a screenshot. Then I texted him directly. What meeting? He called, annoyed. It's just paperwork stuff. Legal. You don't need to be there. It's Mom's estate, I said. I'm her daughter too. And you'll get what you need. But let's be real. You didn't contribute financially. This is for people who actually helped build something. I've been taking care of her for 15 years. Yeah, and we've been paying her bills. Priorities, Nat. He hung up. 2 weeks later, I took Mom to a neurology appointment. She'd been showing signs of early dementia, forgetting names, repeating herself. Eric and Vanessa showed up unannounced. The doctor asked, "Who's the primary caregiver?" "I am," I said. Eric cut in. "We all share responsibilities." The doctor looked at the chart. Notes say Natalie brings her to all appointments, manages medications. Eric's voice dripped with condescension. "She has more free time." Vanessa nodded. "We have careers. Families." "I have a career," I said quietly. Eric laughed. "You're a nurse, Nat. It's not the same as managing a law firm." The doctor shifted uncomfortably. After the appointment, Eric pulled me aside in the parking lot. "Stop trying to make yourself look like the hero. You're not. You're just the one with nothing else going on." Mom sat in my car, staring out the window. Said nothing. Then came the call from Vanessa. "Mom needs to move into a facility." I nearly dropped my phone. "What? She's fine at home with me. You can't take care of her forever. And we found a nice place." "We? Who's we?" "Eric and I, and Todd. We've already toured it." "You didn't ask me." "You're too emotionally involved. We're being practical." Then the real reason came out. "Also, we're selling her house. The equity will help cover her care." "That's her house," I said. "And when she's gone, it'll be ours. Minus your share, obviously, which is minimal. She lives with me. She's happy." I heard a click. Eric's voice joined. Conference call. "Natalie, you're not her guardian. We've talked to a lawyer." My voice broke. "You're doing this for the money. We're doing this because it's time. You've played caretaker long enough." I hung up, shaking with rage. That night I called a lawyer. Not about my mother's will, about my own. What they didn't know was what I'd been doing for the last 30 years. My modest lifestyle? It wasn't because I was poor. I'd been investing carefully since I was 21, maxing out retirement accounts, buying dividend stocks. When Dad died, I inherited a small amount. I invested every penny. I worked overtime shifts for 15 years, lived in a small house I'd paid off a decade ago. No kids, no spouse, no expensive habits. The money just grew. I was sitting on over $1.2 million in assets. But there was more. 3 years ago, before Mom's dementia got bad, she'd quietly set up a trust. The will Eric and Vanessa were changing? That controlled about $100,000 and the house. The real assets, $850,000 in a trust, were untouchable. And they were already designated to me, sole trustee, sole beneficiary. I knew this. I'd known for years. But I never said a word. I didn't owe them transparency. I'd also been documenting everything. Emails, texts, medical records showing I was the sole caregiver. I'd consulted with an elder care attorney named Margaret months ago. She'd warned me. Your siblings are exhibiting classic financial abuse patterns. Can we stop them? I'd asked. We already have. The trust is ironclad, but they don't know that yet. Now I was ready. Margaret suggested I update my own will, publicly. Make it clear where your assets go, and make sure they know. So I did. I left my entire estate to charities, hospice organizations, Alzheimer's research. I specifically named Eric and Vanessa as excluded. Added a clause. I exclude my siblings intentionally due to their treatment of our mother and myself. The family group chat got more arrogant by the day. Eric. Mom's moving to Sunrise Senior Living next month. It's decided. Vanessa. Natalie, you'll need to clear out your spare room. We're putting her stuff in storage. I didn't respond. Amanda texted separately. No hard feelings, Nat. You'll still be able to visit her. One evening, Mom grabbed my hand. Her eyes were clear for the first time in weeks. They're not like you, are they? I felt tears sting. No, Mom, they're not. I'm sorry, I should have been stronger. It's okay, I whispered. I've got it handled. The next day, Eric emailed. Family meeting tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're finalizing Mom's care plan. Be there. I replied. I'll be there. Margaret texted. Ready? Ready. They thought they were cornering me, but I'd been preparing for this moment for months. I arrived at Eric's house at 10 sharp. He was waiting in his home office with Vanessa, Amanda, and Vanessa's husband, Todd. Paperwork spread across the table like battle plans. Good, you're here, Eric said. Let's make this quick. Vanessa didn't even look up. We've arranged everything. Mom moves in 2 weeks. No, I said calmly. She doesn't. Eric's jaw tightened. Natalie, we're not debating this. I pulled out a folder, set it on the table. I brought some paperwork too. I slid documents across the polished wood. This is the trust Mom set up 3 years ago, before her dementia got worse. Eric grabbed it. What trust? The one that holds the majority of her assets, about $850,000. Vanessa's face went white. That's impossible. It's not, and I'm the sole trustee and beneficiary. Eric read frantically, his face darkening. This can't be legal. It's completely legal. Mom set it up with her attorney. She was of sound mind. It's documented. Amanda's voice turned shrill. You manipulated her. I stayed calm. I cared for her. There's a difference. I wasn't done. The house you're planning to sell, the $100K in her will, that's all you're getting. Split 3 ways. Eric slammed the papers down. You can't do this. I didn't do anything. Mom did, because she knew who actually loved her. Vanessa's voice cracked. We'll contest it. I pulled out another folder. Go ahead. Here's 3 years of documented care, medical appointments I took her to, receipts for medications I paid for, emails where you refused to help. I slid a printed email across. Eric's own words, in black and white. Can't make it. Too busy. You handle it. You want to go to court? Let's go. I've got 15 years of evidence. Eric's face was red, his voice shaking. You're pathetic. You did all this for money? My voice stayed steady. No. I did it because I loved her. The money is just proof she loved me back. I stood gathering my folders. One more thing. I updated my will last week. Vanessa looked confused. Why would we care about your will? I smiled, but it wasn't kind. Because I'm worth about $1.2 million. And you're not getting a cent. Amanda's mouth fell open. You have that much? I've been working and saving for 30 years, while you all assumed I was broke. Every dollar goes to charity, hospice care, Alzheimer's research, organizations that actually help people. Eric's voice came out weak. Natalie, I'm done. Don't contact me unless it's about Mom's care. And if you try to move her without my consent, I'll file for guardianship. I walked out. The door closed softly behind me. I drove home to Mom. She was asleep in the recliner, her breathing soft and steady. I sat beside her, holding her hand. They never called. Never apologized. A week later, Eric sent an email. Half apology, half justification. I deleted it without reading past the first line. Vanessa texted, "Can we talk?" I typed back one word. "No." Months passed. I kept caring for Mom at home, hired a part-time aide with money from the trust. Her condition stabilized with proper care and love. Eric and Vanessa didn't visit. One quiet evening, Mom squeezed my hand. "You're a good daughter," I cried. "You're a good mom." I updated my charitable foundation plans, established a fund for family caregivers who sacrifice everything to help aging parents, named it after her. They thought they won because they had money and status, but I won because I had something they never understood. I had love, and I had dignity, and for once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. If you've ever been the caregiver nobody valued, this story is for you. Drop your location in the comments. I read everyone, and I want to hear your story. Hit subscribe if you believe love and sacrifice matter more than money. And if you've ever been underestimated by people who should have known better, share your story below. You're not alone. This community sees you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.